Hi there, welcome to this video. This is Tina from TinaHeals.com, and today I'm speaking about an Aries ascendant, a Libra moon, and a Gemini sun. So you have your ascendant in cardinal fire, Yang. You have your moon in your 7th house, which is cardinal again, and air this time, and Yang again. Ruled by Venus, of course, and you have a sun, you have an opposition of your moon and ascendant, because your ascendant is in Aries and your moon is in Libra, which is its polarity. And your sun being in Gemini, it's mutable air, and sorry, it is a Yang again, and this energy is very intellectual, very cerebral, but you do have a visceral energy to yourself because you have Mars as your ascendant ruler, and you have a moon opposition your ascendant, okay, depending on the degree, but you have a ascendant in the opposite sign of your moon. So this tells me that how the world perceives you and how you truly feel may be at loggerheads. Okay, what you truly want to express, you cannot, and you are here to put forth a side of you that is more rambunctious, more boisterous, more volatile, but inside you are really looking at us. Aries is about I, Libra is about us. So you're very concentrated on relationships with your Libra moon, your 7th house moon. Marriage is very important to you, and you may gain of course, depending on very many other things, you may gain or lose a lot from marriage. And this can be a very, without establishing relationships or having someone steady in your life, you can feel slightly lost. But of course, you have a Gemini sun to counter that, because Geminis are notorious for not committing or settling down. Now, the ascendant is the degree of the zodiac rising on the eastern side of the horizon at the moment of your birth, and the sign on which it falls is your rising sign. Your ascendant is your Jungian mask that you wear and interact with society. It is how the world perceives you. It is the sum total of your identity. It is who you are and how you look. Aries is ruled by Mars, which is about war and combat, competition. You're definitely competitive, but remember, Aries is not just, Mars is not just about violence or anger or conflict or combativeness. It is also our I do principle, our action principle. Without Mars, we will not be able to do anything. So this necessity to do something comes from Mars, and the ability to do it. When we keep on trying and all of our attempts get thwarted, it means we have a problematic Mars in our natal chart. And for you, it's super important because Mars is your ascendant lord. So this is like a really important energy. The agitating fires of Aries are not easy to soak in, but you are here, born as an Aries ascendant, to take a change in the direction you were going in your previous incarnation. Remember, Aries is the infant of the zodiac. It is the first sign of the zodiac, and after the 30th degree of Pisces, the degree of archetypalization, the soul enters Aries with a mini Big Bang, and everything is born anew. Even with Sun in Aries, we have the promise of spring, the promise of renewal in the northern hemisphere. So this is about newness, youth, vibrancy, and just impulsive, restless energy if not grounded. So this is a huge necessity for you to ground all this air and fire energy. So much of cardinal and mutable going on. It is imperative that you ground these energies. Now, as I said, Aries being the infant of the zodiac, there's always a streak of selfishness with the infant. The infant thinks of herself. Why? Because she is not interested in anyone else, because she wants self-preservation. She wants to survive. So she has to be selfish to a certain degree. So the goal of Aries should be enlightened selfishness, as Stephen Forrest, the eminent astrologer, says. So Libra is about us, and Aries is polarity, is about me. Aries, your ascendant's ruled by Mars, the male archetype, the go-getter, but your moon is ruled by Venus, his feminine counterpart. With an Aries ascendant, you're definitely not afraid of eye contact. You walk into a room and people see the purposeful strive. You are the archetype of the pioneer, the initiator, and people see that. People see you are not afraid to intimidate people with your gaze. You are not afraid of competitors. You thrive on the chase. You thrive on adrenaline. You can be quite the adrenaline junkie and impatient to a fault. You're very, very impatient. I mean, Aries ascendant, Aries moon people are some of the most, even Aries sun, some of the most impatient people. Okay, now there could be a question of inherent worthiness with an Aries ascendant if things are not going great. Please understand that you are here to be the pioneer and to understand the beauty in all relationships with your Libra moon, but not to become codependent on something or have an unhealthy interpersonal toxic relationship. You know, that's not the point here. So the moon is the very opposite of the ascendant, and you have a 7th house moon. 7th house is partnerships or marriage. All our interpersonal relationships. It's also our relationship to the earth around us. So having your Libra moon, you're definitely very into all things Venusian, and this is Venus in her airy vibration. So very intellectual, and Gemini sun just, you know, takes it to another level. So you're very intellectual. And you can see things from two different points of view with your Gemini sun. I'll get to that. But everything is happening in your head. Okay, you need grounding. You need to ground this energy. Okay, and Libra ruled by Venus is all about harmony and peace and justice. It is the 7th sign of the zodiac, and the sign which is a balance of the scales. Okay, it is about fairness. It is the archetype of the diplomat. So within internally, and the moon is your emotions, your psychic awareness, your mother, your childhood, your everyday habit patterns, how you connect, your emotive filter, how you nurture, how you were nurtured, how you will be as a mother. All this is the moon. So the moon in Libra is not a great place. It's Libra, you know, interestingly, is not so much about emotions. It is again about equilibrium. The scales, when spirit and matter are in equilibrium. Libra Taurus polarity is actually about the middle path, or the madhyama, the middle path, which is a part of the Buddha, the Bodhisattva. So Libra is about facing the dualities of life, your Libra moon, and to understand and integrate those dualities by walking the middle path. So your Libra moon is definitely not as combative as your Aries ascendant, and your Aries ascendant, remember, is how you look. So this is what Aries rules, right? Libra rules your pelvis. So your eyes very prominent, narrow cheekbones, long nose, pointed chin, thinnish lips. Your eyes can be devoid of compassion. So that is something you need to touch base with. So much fire, so much air. Difficult aspects to Mars can see you have persistent acne, headache, hypertension, high blood pressure, ear infections, glasses, sensitivity to gum and teeth, and all of that. Even if you don't wear glasses, you just want to slap on a pair of shades, because this is who you are. Huge part of who you are, your head. A lot of Libra ascendant women like to keep their hair short. And they just have a lot of testosterone. Even the shape of their bodies is quite masculine, and you have so much masculine going on. So Although Libra is not really very masculine because this is Venus domain, so it's Libra is not as masculine as Aries or say Gemini, but you have a lot of masculine signatures. So you probably wear your hair short, have streaks. You're definitely the fire starter with your Aries, because you walk into a room and you want to be the center of attention. Balance this hypertension, because Virgo is your 6th house, rules the digestive system, nervous system. So don't give in to hypertension. Problems can occur. What you put in, if it's not healthy, can result in horrific migraines. Okay. Also during hard aspects to Mars, be careful of accidents, freak accidents, DUIs, guns, heavy machinery, and all of that. Be very careful of that. Now you have a sun, you have your sun in Gemini, a 3rd house sun. So you're great at communication, and your goals and ambitions will probably be communication, like the press. And internally in your emotional life, you're very artistic, you're ruled by Venus. And here you have Mercury, which is intellect. So you're internally very artistic, very creative. You love beautiful clothes, beautiful things. You like to look beautiful. With your Libra moon and Aries ascendant, you like to be the showstopper. But your Gemini sun is more, more into communicating, more into gossiping maybe. Now sun is strong in Gemini, because this is, as I said, your perfect career. Sun is your father, by the way. Sun is your ambitions, your goals, how you take your key and project it out into the world. So here you're definitely very good with press, with even blogging, even video making, because Mercury is everything. It's video. And interestingly, Uranus is Libra's sole ruler. Libra moon can be quite caught into people pleasing and creating a regime around their lives that work for them, so they can't ever step out of that box. But Uranus, being their sole ruler, comes down with his thunderbolt and makes sure that they have to step out of that box. And Gemini is full of duality, but it's also about looking at things from two eyes, okay? Because two faces of Gemini can mean a lot of things. 2 points of views, 2 conflicting points of views, 2 perspectives, the higher self and the lower self, like Astro and Pollock. So Gemini is constantly being pulled away by duality. But the Gemini vibration is actually one vibration that emanates through all the signs, because every single sign has to do with communication. That's why Gemini is so complex. They are very impatient. So with your Aries ascendant and your Libras are not very patient either. And your Gemini sun, you can be very impatient. Working with your patience is a must. None of these signs are great at completions. So that's something you need to work through, completions. It'll be very interesting to see where your Mars is, and then a lot more can be decided. So I hope you like that as much as I like making it for you. Leave me a comment below, subscribe please, and visit my website to book your reading, www.tinahills.com.